You're born in a place the maps forgot, or maybe just gave up on. Out here, the wind doesn't whistle, it claws. It drags hot sand into your mouth before you even take your first breath. The mud hut you're in is barely standing. Its walls breathing in and out like they're just as tired as the people inside. Your mother is crouched low, her face pale under the sweat, biting down on a rag so her screams don't spill out into the empty night. And then you arrive. No midwife, no welcome. Just the wet sound of life beginning. In a room that smells like blood and dust. Your father leans in, catching his first look at you. He doesn't smile, doesn't say a word. He just studies you, like he's seeing both the baby in his hands and the man you'll have to become. He's not unhappy you're here, he's just not happy about where here is. He knows what's coming for you. He's been through it, and if he could, he'd give you any life but this one. Not because he doesn't love you, but because he does. By the time you're old enough to stand, you're already working. Fetching water, grinding grain, chasing chickens that are smarter than you. Childhood here isn't a chapter. It's an afterthought. And every adult you know walks around with the same dead-eyed stare, like they've seen the end of the story and it's not worth the plot twist. One morning, the sound of hooves. Not the good kind, not the rich uncle is visiting kind. These are heavy, deliberate, slow soldiers' hooves. They don't rush. Predators never do. They spill into the village with that dead-eyed look, like they're not here for tea or talk or anything that leaves you breathing. They start grabbing. A few boys, a few girls. No pattern, no mercy. You, just unlucky enough to be within arm's reach. Your mother lunges for you, nails digging into your arm, holding like she could anchor you to the earth. But one soldier shoves her into the dirt, so hard the sound leaves her chest in a single, broken gasp. Your father isn't there. He's been gone for months, buried somewhere far from this place, a casualty of the same empire now tearing you away. You don't remember his face clearly, but you remember his voice telling you once that he'd do anything to keep you from this kind of pain. Turns out, even dying wasn't enough. The ride is long, hot, and quiet. No one talks. The sun above feels like it's trying to peel your skin off. And when you finally arrive, you see it. The Great Pyramid. Still half built, swarming with people. It's massive. But the first thing you notice isn't its size, it's the smell. Sweat, piss, and old bread. The smell of thousands of lives being ground into dust, one stone at a time. They hand you a rope. No welcome speech, no training, just pull. And you do, because you've seen what happens to people who don't. Days blur. You wake before the sun. Your back already sore before you even touch the rope. You pull, you haul, you get shouted at in words you don't even understand. But you understand the tone. Work faster, or else. Lunch is a piece of bread, so hard you could use it as a weapon. And water that tastes like it's been sitting in the sun since last year. If you're lucky, you get a chunk of onion. Some days, people drop. Heat stroke, exhaustion, or they just stop. And when they do, the overseers don't call for help. They call for someone to take their place. You make friends. Kind of. Friends here aren't for life. They're for as long as they survive. There's one guy, Chris, not Egyptian. You're not sure where he's from. Talks too much, jokes too much, keeps the mood light, which is dangerous because around here, joy gets noticed. One day, you're pulling a massive stone block with Chris next to you. The rope is thick, rough, cutting into your palms. The sun is blinding. You hear the rope creak, feel it slip. Chris's grip falters for half a second too long. The block jerks forward, knocks into another, and a chunk of the construction crumbles. Everything stops. The overseer's shadow falls over Chris like an eclipse. No shouting, no debate, just a nod. 2 guards step forward, one swing of a club, and Chris is on the ground, twitching. A second swing, and he's still. They drag his body away. The rope is shoved back into your hands. Pull, and you do, because you've seen what happens to people who don't. That night, you can't sleep. Not because of the heat, not because of the fleas biting your ankles, but because of Chris. You keep hearing his laugh, that stupid, loud laugh that made even the guards smirk sometimes. Now it's just gone. You're lying on the hard dirt floor when you hear it. A whisper, not a friendly one. The kind that slides into your ear like cold water. You sit up. Across the darkness, 2 figures are huddled together, talking low. You catch words. Escape. Tunnel. Tonight. Your first thought? These guys are either brave or brain dead. Probably both. Second thought? If they get caught, the overseers will need another example to make. And you look like the perfect replacement example. You try to ignore it, but the seed's been planted. Escape. Freedom. It sounds like a fairy tale, the kind your mom used to tell. Except hers always ended with someone being eaten by a jackal. The tunnel isn't some genius engineering feat. It's a rat hole, literally. They've been digging it during night shifts, covering it with a pile of hay. Smart? Kinda. Safe? Hell no. They invite you. And here's where your brain plays the worst trick possible. Hope. For a second, you actually picture yourself out there, walking under the open sky. No rope in your hands, no stone in front of you. So you agree, which, in hindsight, is the dumbest decision you've made so far. And you once tried to drink from the Nile during flood season. It's the dead of night. The guards are half asleep, leaning on their spears. The 3 of you crawl into the tunnel. It's tight, dusty, and smells like something already died in it. Your knees scrape against sharp rocks. You try to stay quiet, but every cough sounds like a war horn in your head. Halfway through, you hear it, shouting. Not in front of you, behind. The hay's been moved. The tunnel's lit up with torchlight. And here's the kicker. The guy in front of you panics, starts scrambling faster, kicking dirt into your face. Then the tunnel collapses. Not fully, just enough to trap the guy behind you. You can hear him screaming, but you can't move back. You can't move forward either, because the genius in front of you has frozen. And that's when a spear tip punches through the dirt right next to your face. They drag you out, not gently. You're coughing dirt, eyes watering. The overseer's standing there, calm as a priest before a sacrifice. He doesn't yell, doesn't hit you. That's worse, because when he's quiet, it means he's thinking. You're lined up in front of everyone the next morning. The sun isn't even up yet, but everyone's awake, watching. You feel like a goat about to be celebrated at a feast. The overseer tells the crowd your story, except his version makes you sound like the mastermind. The others? Just following orders. And because stories need an ending, he gives yours one. 2 guards hold you down. Another takes a chisel, the same one used to carve the pyramid stones, and smashes it against your ankle. Once, twice, until you're not going anywhere ever again. They don't kill you. No, you're worth more alive. A cripple can still grind grain, carry water, patch ropes. You're still a tool, just a slower one. The worst part? You realize this isn't even the worst that's happened here. People have vanished, been buried alive in walls, disappeared into the desert. You're just another story, whispered in the work camps. And some nights, when the wind howls over the half-built pyramid, you swear you hear Chris laughing. Not in a happy way, in a way that says, "You're never leaving."